Hello there and welcome back to the boat shed. My name is Panu and I am building this 15 meter or 50 foot liveaboard cruising sailboat here in Finland. In previous video we got quite a milestone done, and that was to glue this frame 3 on its place here in the boat. It's now permanent piece of the boat and it will act as a reference frame for everything else. So that is completely leveled and right position so that I can use this to guide everything else on the same height and level. But since this, I actually glued already 2 additional frames on the boat back there. Let's go check those. And that is these 2 frames here. This is the very last frame of the boat. The stern, it is now on its place and very sturdy. And this is the second to last frame. And the reason I did this is, of course, that we need to put the stern assembly here between these 2 frames. Before we could do that, these need to be glued in, and they are now done. And today is the Saturday of October 26th, and there is a couple of guys coming to help me to lift the stern assembly on its place. And that is this chunk of wood right here. We did this a couple of videos back, and here you can see the area for the rudder quadrant, and this cavity is for the wind vane mechanism if I decide to do that eventually. But before we can lift this up, I need to clean up this a little bit. There's some squeeze out in here, I need to get rid of that. And the surfaces here and down there needs to be sanded smooth because they're gonna be against this frame and that frame, and they're the glue up surfaces, of course. Then some additional things needs to be done right in here, because as you may remember, that thing is super heavy, and basically all we have to support its weight right now is this mold right here in the middle. And I'm not really sure if this can hold all the weight, so I think we need to have some kind of additional bracings to put the thing against too. So I think we're gonna add some kind of thing from here to there to support the weight there on the sides. But that should be quite straightforward. And the plan really is to get that thing back here, do some kind of sliding wooden things here and lift it bit by bit upwards in this way, and then eventually push it over this back frame. But yeah, this day is gonna be quite hectic, so I think I'm gonna just now do all these preparations of camera, and I'll put some time lapse on or something when we actually lift the part there, and we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be alright, but you never know. Here it is on its place. We got this lifted up from back there with some scaffolding or whatever those are called. The 3 people were just the minimum to be able to lift this up, so that went really well. And we also got this glued up. There's some epoxy in here, and it's now firmly attached to these 2 frames. Really pleased with the result, and yeah, it went actually easier than I expected. Now the next phase with this is to laminate the rest of the stuff here where I'm lying, and I think I'm going to do that later this week. this is also the first time I'm laying on the boat. So that's nice, I guess. There is one detail that I want to still think a little bit, and it is right here, this keel pocket. The keel timber will extend here, but I'm not sure if I should extend it actually a little bit further to connect the keel timber with this assembly here a little bit better, but I can probably adjust that later when the time comes. Yeah, this looks very nice, and really pleased that there is one additional huge piece attached to the boat. It's now about a week later. This is all now prep for the next layers to go in. I also built some scaffolding around here so it's easy to access now. And yeah, nothing really special about this anymore. I just need to laminate next layers here. There's 3 layers of wood and 2 layers of plywood here. Probably not gonna do them one go. It's quite a big job. During next week, I hope I get this all finished. And yeah, the previous week was really hectic with my work. I really couldn't come here. And as you may see, the weather has turned into more winterish conditions. We got our first snow this Friday and the temperature is around 2-3 degrees right now, which is a little bit on the lower side to use epoxy really. I think I should make my epoxy distribution machine ready to be able to put it in the insulated and heated box so that I can always get some warm epoxy if I need some. So that should be a thing to do in coming weeks. So I think it's now gonna be enough for this video. There's really nothing special about this. I'm just gonna put some time lapse on to show you how this goes. As mentioned, nothing special about it. Just putting these strips in here and call it a day. In coming weeks, there's actually a lot of things I can do. I can glue some frames in, and I now have ordered the mast steps. They should arrive in a couple of weeks, so that is really nice, and I can start preparing for installing those. And in a few weeks, I'm actually gonna go and visit the Mets trade show as well for the first time ever going to overseas any boat fair. And that's gonna be super, super nice and exciting. We'll see a video about that, I hope. And yeah, I don't know. I think the project is going along nicely, although I have a little bit too much work to do to really go forward with this project as fast I would like. But yeah, that's life. And I hope you've been enjoying this process so far. Of course, remember to subscribe to the channel and give me a like and put some comments. And if you want to support this project even more, please go and check the Patreon page as well. Now I'm gonna go and grab some lunch first, and then I'm gonna laminate at least the first layer, and I'm gonna show you the time lapse of that, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.